So recent news just came out about Pete Hegseth and him being named as Secretary of Defense. And there's been a lot of people that have been posting about his qualifications. There have been people questioning if this was a good move for Trump. I'm going to just try to be as objective as possible. I'm just looking through, this is his Wikipedia, and so I'll share it with you. So again, trying to be as objective as possible, analyzing if this is a reasonable role. And some people, some critics, I may agree with them in some areas, but they're indicating that he's only a Fox News host when his resume does show that he has some experience outside of that. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. He's been active and conservative in Republican politics for a while. Okay, since his undergraduate at Princeton, right? In 2016, he's a strong supporter of Trump, so he's shown Trump loyalty. Okay, he was a platoon leader in Guantanamo Bay, so he does have military experience. He is known for trying to get Trump to pardon 3 American soldiers that were convicted of war crimes related to shooting of civilians in Iraq. Okay, he was considered to lead the Department of Veterans Affairs in the first Trump administration, but then he wasn't chosen. Okay, but he was just selected right as Secretary of Defense. So his education. Okay, he received a Bachelor of Arts in Politics at Princeton, so he did go to a good school. Okay, he wrote for the Princeton Tory while he was there. He played basketball for the team. Okay, in 2013, he received a Master's of Public Policy for the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. So he received that when he was around 30 years old. Okay, so his military career. He joined Bear Stearns as an equity capital market analyst. He was also commissioned as an infantry officer in the Minnesota National Guard. In 2004, his unit was called the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base, where he served as an infantry platoon leader with the Minnesota Army National Guard. His unit was under the operational control of the 3rd Battalion. Okay, awarded the Army Commendation Medal. Okay, then he went on to serve in Baghdad and Samarra, where he volunteered there. He held the position of infantry platoon leader. Okay, during his time in Iraq, he was awarded the Bronze Star Medal. Returned to active duty in 2012 as a captain. So at this point, he was a little over 30, deployed to Afghanistan with the Minnesota Army National Guard. Acted as a senior counterinsurgency instructor at the Counterinsurgency Training Center in Kabul. Okay, so he worked for a bit at the Manhattan Institute for Policy Research. Okay, and then he worked as executive director at Vets for Freedom. Okay, he formed the Political Action Committee. And then it's highlighting that, yeah, he had one third of its funds were spent on Christmas parties for family and friends, so not a good look there. And it's highlighting campaign finance laws in Minnesota do not prohibit such spending. Less than half of the PAC's resources were spent on candidates. Okay, executive director of the Concerned Veterans for America, an advocacy group funded by the Koch brothers. The group advocated greater privatization of the VA. It's highlighting that he hired his brother to work for the group. Paid him $108K, which at that time was a lot more than it was now. Okay, ran for the Republican nomination of the U.S. Senate seat in Minnesota. Okay, then he withdrew from the race, saying that he initially marked in 2016. He backed Rubio, he backed Cruz, and then Donald Trump. And since then he's been a strong Trump supporter. Criticized Robert Mueller's investigation into Russia interference. Okay, a few controversies. He had mocked the New York Times for apparently not reporting on the capture of ISIS leaders, but they had already filed a report on the story. Okay, so again, kind of analyzing that, it's not the most fair analysis to say that he was just a Fox News host. If you're being fair, like, yes, he was a soldier. It said he was a platoon leader in Guantanamo. So he was a boots on the ground military man. Now, you can bring up the question of if he has the same kind of experience that many other generals have had. Secretary of Defense, that's a pretty big position. My understanding is it's like number 2 in command of the armed forces. It's like number 2 commander in chief. So some would argue that it's better to have generals. Perhaps Trump wants someone that he knows is going to be completely loyal and do whatever he says, where it appears there was some pushback from other generals in the past, like Mattis, Milley, John Kelly. So interesting choice. I'm not going to say that he's completely unqualified, but it is fair to look and question if he has the same qualifications as others that have had that position before.